it's Annie, your Bookish Chaos Coordinator, and welcome back to the Cozy Chaos of Reading with me. Today we are stepping into the wild wild west of romance because we are throwing two cowboy romances into the ultimate trope trial showdown. And besties, it's fake dating versus marriage of convenience in the ultimate you versus her battle. On one side we have Wild Side by Elsie Silver, where the proximity is proximitying, and the slow burn tension is a grumpy cowboy who might actually have some feelings. And on the other side we have Wyatt by Jessica Peterson, where fake dating meets friends to lovers, and then suddenly our cowboy hero is giving seduction lessons which are not gonna stay fake for long. I am so excited for this, so let's find out which trope reigns supreme. Will I fall for the emotional depths of marriage of convenience? Or is fake dating about to giddy up and steal my heart? Pop in the comments down below which one you think is gonna win today's trope trials, and let's get straight into this. I am so excited for both of these books. The Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver has been an absolute hit for me. And then I absolutely loved Cash, which is book 1 in the Lucky River Ranch series by Jessica Peterson. So honestly, both of these books I am predicting as 5-star, but one of them has to win. I am on chapter 26 of Wild Side, and I am obsessed with Reese and Tabby. The whole backstory element that we get, I was low-key so emotional, like instantly so attached to these characters and everything that's going on, just like 100% there with them. Obviously, I have binged the entire half of this story today. I mean, who is surprised? Because you frankly shouldn't be. Like, I feel like we're already getting like so much development from both of these characters, not only like within themselves and like learning to trust each other and other people, but also into their relationship as well. They are just like really growing together as a couple, and they're just like really starting to like let each other in, and I'm absolutely obsessed with them as a pair. I know they are still holding on to some secrets. I know they're still holding on to some like reservations and things, and I know full well that Elsie is gonna break my heart later in this book, even more than she already has already, because that's just what she does. She does not come to play, she comes to hurt us. Like, I'm really here for it, and I'm excited for it. There's just like little things that they do, and there's like certain little things that are just like so good, and I'm absolutely eating this up, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys because I'm having that much fun with it. I'm like, I want you guys to be able to experience this as well, like fully to the max effect that Elsie needs us to experience this. And let me just say, like, the way that Elsie has this knack for being able to include the title of the books within the books is always an absolutely amazing point. The way it started this book, like, I am screaming, I'm giggling, I am kicking my little feet as I'm reading. Like, I am just having the best time with this book. Like, how am I already 50% of of the way through. I feel like I've been sat here for about 20 minutes reading. Also, please don't end this because I'm obsessed. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my god, I want to get to the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? I am absolutely living, breathing, dying for this book. I'm living, breathing, dying for these characters. Tabby and Reese are just like the absolute best. And like the vibes and the imagery in my head is just absolutely serving. I am just going to continue eating this up today. Like, I can't put this down. It's so good. You guys, I just finished Wildside. It was a wild ride. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed with these two. I mean, Reese doesn't exactly take over from West as my favorite Elsie Silver guy ever, but he is definitely in the top 3 right there next to Kate. I kind of low-key feel like I cheated with this book because I think instantly I kind of assume that most Elsie Silver books are going to be small town cowboy adjacent, and this almost was like a sports romance with all of the wrestling stuff because you're actually in his point of view for so much of the wrestling, and honestly this was such a vibe and I really love it for that, but I kind of look feel like I cheated. Anyway, that bit aside, this was so good. I mean, I was giggling, kicking, screaming the entire way through from the beginning to the very end. I love them. I love their relationship. It feels like so genuine. Like, even though it's like fake marriage of convenience type vibe, it literally feels like two people that you haven't like seen in forever, like catching you up on the last couple of years of what's been going on type vibe. Like, I literally feel like I could get invited around for dinner tomorrow. Like, that's how real they feel, and I love that about Elsie's characters because they always feel that real. It's only 9:30, but it feels way later, so I'm definitely going to be getting an early bed tonight. 100%. This was a win of a book. I kind of feel like I cheated a little bit with this because it's not as cowboy-esque as I think I was kind of expecting, but that is a problem that we can fix tomorrow because I'm gonna get an early night, and then tomorrow we're heading to Lucky River Ranch and we're gonna go hang out with Wyatt, who is an actual cowboy, and we can fix everything then. Guys, we're doing a little bit of an unceremonious check-in at 50% through Wyatt. I have just been like caught up in all of my tasks. So I definitely finally attached the magnetic pop socket to this properly, so like it's actually really useful rather than falling off every 5 seconds. But I am on chapter 16, which is 52% of the way through. Oh my god, like I'm obsessed with them. As a couple, they are great. They are so much fun. Just like get this sense of like they have been friends since like basically the dawn of time. There's this like constant foreboding from Sally's point of view if she's like, well, I'm gonna be moving to New York in like a couple of weeks and my dad is so excited because I'm gonna be doing this thing that like he really wanted to do, and she's like, I don't want to let him down. She's like, but I just need to just like live for 5 minutes, right? And Wyatt is there and he's like, don't worry babes, like I got you, like just live for like with me, like live your life, like let's just have some fun. And there is something that is like so great about their dynamic. Like there's a scene in this where they're like playing poker and he's like trying to teach her, and oh my god, it is so good, and their chemistry is like literally off the charts. I am screaming, I am giggling, I am kicking my little feetsies, but it is definitely like 10 o'clock at night, so I am going to be going to bed shortly. I have been like reading this in little spurts rather than just like sitting down and binging it, and honestly like every time I've like stopped to like do tasks and do little things, I've been like, oh, I just want to get back to it, like oh, I just really want to like get back to Wyatt and Sally, and I just want to get back into their story. And I think that says a lot. Like I love them, they're great, they're so much fun, I love their dynamic. I think it's in the epilogue in Cash where you like see a little bit that I think happens in this book, and I'm like waiting for it to happen, and it's like, oh, I know it's coming, but like where is it? I think it's coming in the next few chapters. I need it to happen like now, but at the same time I'm like, oh my god, this is bad. So I'm like, I don't quite know how I feel about this, but I'm also like weirdly excited for it. I'm gonna go have an 8-hour nap and then we'll carry on tomorrow. Ago, and honestly I've had to like take some time to really think about it. I absolutely love them. This is another 5-star. Like how nuts is this? We've had 2 5 stars this video and they have both been absolutely astounding for completely different reasons. There is something in the water at Lucky River Ranch, like there has to be, honestly, because the men in this book are great. I think the only thing that kind of bugged me about this book was like Dad John B's reaction to them as a couple and everything that happens towards the end, which you kind of see like a little excerpt of it at the end of Cash, which I said, and when I thought it was gonna come, it didn't didn't. And then like I kind of low-key forgot about that segment of it until like right at the very end when that turns back up, and I'm like, oh my god, like I get it now. I was kind of actually disappointed in his reaction because I'm like, I thought like we dealt with this, like I thought you were on board, I thought you were fine with this, like what are you doing, sir? Don't appreciate your behavior, you're an adult. But he does it anyway. I love them as a pair. I think they're great. I was kicking, I was screaming. I mean, you guys saw all of the drama. We have to pick a winner. I have to, and I don't know how I'm going to do this, because the reason that I think Wyatt should win is because it was technically a cowboy romance, so it fits the brief, whereas Wildside technically wasn't. It was more of a small town rather than a small town cowboy. But then I'm like, well, that's not really the book's fault. That's Annie's fault for not, like, you know, reading the description properly, for just getting so excited and assuming that every Elsie Silver book is gonna be cowboy-esque. That's Annie's fault. That's me. That's me right here. So I don't feel like Wildside should get a negative for that, but this down definitely gets a bonus for it. I mean, both of them had like an absolute amazing set of pining in both of them. He Falls First and He Falls Harder, and I love it. But there's like pining from both sides, and then there's just this like, we can't cross that line, and there's not necessarily miscommunication, but it's like assumptions. I mean, for both books, there's just assumptions that are made which are never questioned because they're never brought up, because it's just, this is just how it is. I'm making an assumption, but this is how it is. And then they don't bother to check it because there's no information that really questions that for them. So I'm like, well, it makes sense. And I don't have a problem with assumptions. I have a problem with direct miscommunication, which neither of these really had. This is so hard. I feel like maybe Wildside was like a little bit more drama-y, a little bit more kicking and screaming, whereas this was like a little more wholesome and cutesy, which feels more cowboy-esque, being a little bit more wholesome, like holding the door for her and like the little things like that. I think I'm gonna have to give it to Wyatt. I think Wyatt is gonna win this Ye versus Her championship, which is crazy to say because I'm such an Elsie Silver girl. But honestly, I'm becoming such a Jessica Peterson girl too. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. Should Wyatt have won, or do you think I'm wrong and that Wildside should have won? Let me know. Let's have a conversation. I love knowing your guys' opinion too. But besties, I have survived this Ye versus Her cowboy chaos, except one of them technically wasn't cowboy, but it was a lot of chaos. I absolutely loved both of these books so much. They were both 5 stars, absolute hands down, cannot argue with that. But let me know in the comments down below, what are some cowboy romances that I need to read? What's on your guys' radar that isn't on mine? Let me know, because I am in such a cowboy mood right now. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to hang out. This has been so much fun. This has been a great few days of reading. We've had 2 absolutely astounding books, and if you couldn't guess already, this is a recommendation to go and read them, and then message your girl on Instagram because I want to know what you guys are thinking. Anyway, have an absolutely amazing cozy chaos day, and I hope your next read is a 5 star. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.